Say the things you don't want, I know that you feel you want. I know you know the scripture says that we gonna rule. Chale, chale, chale. Saba bidi moto. Saba bidi moto. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Saba bidi moto. I never go, I never buy, I never cook, I never buy, I never cook, I never buy, I never cook, I never buy. Chale, chale, chale. Saba bidi moto. Saba bidi moto. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Saba bidi moto. Bidi moto, yeah. Saba bidi moto. Yeah. Bidi moto, yeah.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. This is Officer Gabriel, and today's class is going to be titled Fake, the Deceit of Dissimulation. I'll say it again. The title of the class today is called Fake, the Deceit of Dissimulation. Let's get the definition of fake. Let's open it up with the definition of fake. Let's pull that up.
The definition of fake, not true, real, or genuine, counterfeit, sham.
Counterfeit, sham. Okay, let's scroll up. Come on. Yeah, right here.
Fake,
Right here.
one that is not what it purports to be, such as a worthless imitation passed off as genuine, imposter, charlatan.
Now, why is this important? Because historically, the apostles under Christ sought to gather the nation of Israel together, us blacks and Hispanics, Native American Indians. Moses in the past, he sought to gather us together as a nation. Likewise, in these last days, the Spirit jumped on our forefathers in the 1960s to gather our people together, and you always had that spirit of fake or deceitful or dissimulating brothers and sisters. And we have to make sure that we do not fall into that. Okay? Let's get Romans chapter 15, verse 4.
The book of Romans,
15, verse 4.
the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
All right, so we're going to go into the scriptures, and we're going to pull articles and different resources like, the internet, find out why do church members dissimulate? Why do black and Hispanics dissimulate or be deceitful with their own people when it comes to gathering together as a unified body? Okay, let's get the definition of dissimulate. And then after that, read that first excerpt. Yep. Dissimulate. Dissimulation. I hope my spelling is right. We're going to find out.
Dissimulation.
Uh-huh.
The act of dissembling.
Because that's not a regular Negro word that we use every single day, right? But it's a common occurrence amongst Negroes that we do every day. So let's get that definition.
Dissimulation, the act of dissembling or the fact of being dissembled.
Okay, let's scroll.
False pretense.
False pretense. Is there some more? False pretense. Okay, let's drop that. BT, let's pull up that first screenshot I sent you. You see it? Scroll up. See, now I typed this in the chat GPT just to see, why would a church member dissimulate? Let's read that, soldier. Come on.
A church member might dissimulate hide their true beliefs, fake their behavior, or wear a mask to fit in and protect themselves.
Okay.
Churches are close-knit communities where people often feel high pressure to look holy or happy. Here are the primary reasons why a member might hide the truth from their church or other members.
Now, when it says hide the truth, it means basically how you feel. How you feel. You trying to hide how you feel. Hide your inner thoughts. Go ahead.
Fear of judgment and gossip. Avoiding shame. Members often hide financial struggles.
So it says members often hide financial struggles. Okay.
Marriage problems.
Marital problems.
Or mental health issues to avoid being judged as spiritually weak.
Now, all that is Satan in your head, because if you're supposed to go to leadership, right? You're supposed to go to leadership with these problems. Now, that don't mean tell all your business to the brother to your left or the sister to your right that you're going through these things. No, mainly talking about with leadership. Go ahead, the bishops and the deacons and the congregational leaders that they set up in the various cities. Read on.
Fear of gossip.
Okay.
Church circles can sometimes spread personal information quickly under the guise of prayer requests, leading members to mask their real problems.
Okay, read on.
Hiding doubts. A member may fake total agreement with church teachings because they fear being labeled a heretic or losing their social standing.
Now, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that heretic role. Okay, next screenshot. Yep.
Number two, protecting status and roles. Keeping leadership positions. Leaders, teachers, or volunteers may hide sins or struggles because exposing them could mean losing their position or ministry.
Now it's switched to more so the leadership position, or their wives or their family, the more prominent members of the church. It says they will be deceitful or dissimulate to keep leadership positions. Go ahead.
Family reputation. Parents or spouses might dissimulate to protect their family's good name and standing within the congregation.
Read.
Perfectionism culture. If a church highly praises outward perfection, members will fake success to receive praise and validation.
Okay, interesting. Go ahead. Number 3.
Fear of consequences and rejection. Avoiding excommunication. In strict churches.
Now, hey, Israel United in Christ, we're on that stricter side. We're going to see why. Read on.
In strict churches.
And really, God is on that stricter side. Come on.
In strict churches, revealing certain behaviors or beliefs can lead to formal discipline, shunning, or being kicked out.
Ooh, if it's that bad, you got to go. Now that may sound strict, but how strict is that when we read in the scriptures? Man, Mosai was getting rid of folks. Christ was getting rid of folks in the wilderness. You fornicate, 23,000 people died in one day due to fornication. So we strict, but really all we doing is opening up the Bible, telling you what you did wrong, and escorting you out the door. Go ahead.
Losing social support. For many, the church is their entire social circle. So they fake compliance to keep their friends and support network.
Okay.
Past church trauma. If a member was hurt or betrayed by a church leader in the past, they may use a false front as a shield to stay safe.
Well, I didn't know I could say that. I didn't know. Now, let's go more to that heretic. That heretic. Keep going. You see it? Yep, number 1, but let's scroll up. Read that.
When a church member hides theological doubts, they are usually trying to protect their faith.
This means this person doesn't believe, they no longer believe keeping the commandments in the faith of Christ. They don't believe what the Bible says at this point, and they try to hide it. Go ahead.
They are usually trying to protect their faith, their family, and their friendships.
Read.
In many religious communities, questioning the rules or the teachings is seen as a dangerous sign of weakness.
I don't believe in a 12 tribes chart. I don't believe in because they say, one of the elders in the past had a dream. Well, I mean, Oppenheimer had a dream about the atomic bomb, and that was created. So if a white scientist could have a dream about an atomic bomb, and then after that they drop 2 bombs on Hiroshima, and then another bomb on Nagasaki, the Lord can, man, hold on. Give me that in Numbers 12, real quick. Jumped in my spirit. I don't believe in the 12 tribes chart. Numbers 12, verse 6.
The book of Numbers, chapter 12, and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision.
In a vision. Go ahead.
And will speak unto him in a dream.
Hey, so if who they used to call high priest Elder Ariah, if he woke up and the Lord gave him a dream of black Americans, African Americans are the tribe of Judah, West Indian blacks, tribe of Benjamin, Haitian blacks, Levi, Mexicans, Issachar, and he wrote it down when he woke up, and then after that the elders around him and the men around him found different books proving that, and men after that found books proving it. Hey, that's what happened. If you don't believe that, that's your fault. That is a dangerous sign of weakness. Okay, let's read. Let's go back to here are specific reasons why. I remember. Number one,
fear of social exclusion and loss of community. Losing close friendships. For many members, the church is their entire social world.
Read.
They fake agreement because they fear their friends will stop talking to them if they find out about the doubts.
Yeah, of course.
Being labeled an outcast. Expressing doubt can quickly cause a member to be labeled as backslidden, spiritually dry, or dangerous to be around. Ostracization from small groups. Members may keep quiet during Bible studies to avoid the awkwardness of being singled out or treated like a project that needs fixing.
Now, all this is not correct, but it's just giving us an idea why somebody may dissimulate. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Number 2,
Dealing with family.
protecting family harmony.
Okay.
Avoiding marital conflict. If one spouse is deeply devout and the other is doubting, the doubting spouse may fake their beliefs to keep peace at home and avoid a marriage crisis.
So this is some people coming into the faith, new to the truth, new to finding out that we are the Israelites and we got to keep God's commandments in the faith of Christ. The partner, your husband or your wife, may not believe. And they might hide that from you or try to. And that might be a reason why. Go ahead.
Parental expectations. Adult children or teens often dissimulate to avoid breaking their parents' hearts or causing a major family rift.
And you teenagers that keep leaving the truth, you know, your mama, your daddy brought you into this truth, and then y'all get of age and y'all run up out of here. Listen, y'all got to grow up fast, because believe it or not, me, myself, I came in as a teenager in this truth. Captain Jan, Officer Leon, myself, you got Ozias in North Carolina. You have not many of, I think, Officer Captain Nariah Judah as well in Texas. We were the original teenagers up under the bishops and the deacons that came into IUIC, that stayed. If we can do it, y'all can do it. Y'all need to stop running up out of here trying to act like you believe, and then as soon as you turn 18 and get a driver's license, you want to be the devil. Ain't nothing out there in the world. Nothing out there in the world. It's cold. Nobody cares about you. Nobody gonna take care of you. You need to humble down, listen to your parents, and pray to the Lord and get that faith in you. You need to gird up your loins, because being young is not an excuse for being wicked. That's a personal decision. That's a personal, and I can say that with full faith, because we came in young, teenagers, literally. Y'all got to grow up fast. I don't know what's wrong with this generation. And Lord's will, we're gonna touch on a class on that. We're gonna touch a class on that at another day, another time. Okay, read on.
Protecting children. Parents may mask their doubts so the children can grow up with a stable sense of community and faith without being confused or judged by other kids.
Okay, last one. 3 and 4.
Number 3, avoiding conflict with authority and leaders. Fear of correction. Expressing doubt often.
Get over it. You're going to get corrected. That's going to happen. Go ahead.
Expressing doubt often leads to unwanted meetings with pastors or elders who try to correct the members' thinking. Dissimulating keeps the leadership away.
Right. You try to hide because you don't want to be corrected by leadership. You don't want leadership to know that you went upside your kid's head a little bit too hard, and now DCFS, which is, Child Protective Services for those outside of, the state of where we at, Illinois, Chicago. The Child Protective Services, now they done got called into your house because you went upside your child's head a little bit too hard. And now you try to hide that from leadership because you don't want to get corrected. You don't want to hide your misbehaving that you do outside the body because you don't want to get corrected by leadership. Because all leadership is going to do is open up the Bible and say, hey, you did this according to the scriptures, and that's wrong. You got to fix that. What you hiding it for? We all need to fix it. Go ahead.
Losing ministry positions. Sunday school teachers, worship leaders, or youth pastors will hide their doubts to avoid being fired or stripped of their roles. Avoiding formal church discipline. In strict churches, questioning official doctrine can lead to public rebukes or being officially banned from the church.
Read.
Number 4, internal confusion and hope.
You're so confused. You have no hope in you. Go ahead.
Buying time to think. The member might still want to believe.
Okay.
They fake it because they are hoping the doubts will pass.
Okay. Build your faith up. Got it.
And they do not want to blow up their lives while they figure it out.
Right. That's more so newer people. Okay, that's understood. Got you. Go ahead.
Fearing personal spiritual failure. Sometimes the member is ashamed of their own questions. They hide them because they view their doubt as a personal failure of faith rather than a normal human experience.
And that's why the Lord said, hold that. Sirach, about one counselor out of 1,000. Yes, sir. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get that for me, please. And that just popped in my mind.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 6. Be in peace with many.
So be at peace with many. Salute everybody, brothers and sisters. Shalom, how you doing? Shalom, how you doing? But
nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000.
Have one counselor out of 1,000. Somebody who's been in the truth longer than you, who you've seen endure more trials than you, who pretty much knows the scriptures like you know them, or better, who can guide you through this walk that you trust. That's not gonna that they're not gonna dissimulate. I like that. That they're not gonna dissimulate. Somebody that's trustworthy, and only you can decide that for yourself. All right, only you can decide that for yourself. It takes time. Now let's go into the Bible. Romans chapter 12 verse 9. Now I know you see the thumbnail. You see some of our their forefathers at this point because they passed away now. You see some great men on there. Don't worry, we're gonna touch on that. But let's get into the Bible real quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 9.
We gotta remember that this right here is the book of life. Blacks and Hispanics, Native American Indians. We're not going to unify successfully if we don't get in this Bible right here, under the faith of Christ. We're not going to get the kingdom of heaven. We're not going to get salvation up under any other movement outside of God's movement. Guns is not going to help. Financial freedom is not going to help. Money's not going to save us. The government's not going to save us. Us keeping God's commandments and working amongst ourselves, saving ourselves until God saves us is going to save us. Let's read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation.
You see what Paul said? Paul said, let love be without dissimulation. Does that mean hugs and kisses? No. He's going to explain. Read on.
Abhor that which is evil.
Hate that which is evil. Abhor means hate. Hate that which is evil. Go ahead.
Cleave to that which is good.
Cleave to that which is good. Read.
Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love.
Right. At some point, that over-aggressive demeanor has to tone down. And at some point, you have to be able to talk to your brothers like brothers. No matter who they are, no matter how long you've been in, you have to have that kindly affectionate spirit. You sisters also have to have that kindly affectionate spirit when you see new members come into the school. You have to, sister, you got to put on that smile and say shalom to the sister. Be inviting at some point. Go ahead.
Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, and honor preferring one another.
And honor preferring one another. John 13, verse 34. John 13, verse 34.
The book of John, chapter 13, and verse 34.
Yeah, what does that mean? Let love be without dissimulation.
A new commandment I give unto you.
Now, this is the King of Kings, the Lord Christ speaking. He said, a new commandment I give unto you. Go ahead. And it's not new, but we're going to see why he says new.
That ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all...
So we are supposed to love one another, brothers and sisters. Brothers are supposed to love our brothers. Sisters are supposed to love their sisters. Sisters are supposed to love their brothers. Brothers are supposed to love their sisters the way Christ loved the 12 apostles. Now, how did Christ love the 12 apostles? Read 35.
Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my apostles, if ye have love one to another.
If you have love one to another. 1 John 3, verse 18.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 18.
Yep, you got that?
My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
You see that? It says, don't love in word alone. Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, that's my sister. I got love for that sister. I got love for that brother. No, John the Revelator, because that's who this is later on in life. He's saying, read that again. Let's love in not only in word, but also in deed, meaning in action. In action. We're going to go through the scriptures and show what type of action. Read that again.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
Love in deed and in truth. Psalms 119, verse 142. What does that mean? Love in deed. Deed means action. So we're going to go through the scriptures and find out how do you love in deed. But before we do that, let's get what is the truth. Psalms 119, verse 142.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, and verse 142.
Go ahead.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
So God's righteousness is an everlasting righteousness for all generations, including ours today. Go ahead.
And thy law is the truth.
And God's laws are the truth. We're not going to have any successful movement as a collective, as a people, as blacks and Hispanics without God's laws. Go ahead.
That's it, sir.
John 17, verse 17. St. John 17, 17.
The book of John, chapter 17, and verse 17.
Yeah, we're still touching on that truth.
Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth.
The word of the Lord is the truth. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is the truth. Remember, David said, thy law is the truth. So Christ and David speaking the same thing. Now get Sirach chapter 29, verse 10. Nope. Matthew 17, 24. My bad. Matthew 17, 24 real quick.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17, and verse 24.
Remember what Christ said? He said, even as I have loved you. So how did Christ display his love for the 12 apostles when they were alive? Let's look at it. Come on.
And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute?
So the tax collectors, they seen Peter in Capernaum, and they said, hey, you follow that man Christ. Does Christ pay taxes? Because there was a lot of different religious leaders and different political leaders and different military leaders during that time period. So they didn't know if he was one of the ones that didn't pay taxes. Hold that. Why is that? Because, hold that. Let's get Acts. Show you historically what was going on. I think it's Acts the 4th chapter.
Verse 34.
Yeah, no, Acts 5:34.
Oh, yeah, 5. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. 5:33 real quick.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 33. When they heard that they were cut to the heart and took counsel to slay them.
So the apostles was teaching, and the scribes and Pharisees, they wanted to kill them. They wanted to kill the apostles. So let's see what happened. Verse 34.
Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel.
So Gamaliel stood up. Go ahead.
a doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space.
He said, hey, y'all calm down. Y'all calm down. Yeah, put them over there in that corner real quick. Let me speak to y'all real quick. Because he was an older, wise man. You know, a lot of older men, they've been through some things. They see the foolishness more than the younger men. Gamaliel was held in reputation. He said, hold on. Y'all getting out of hand. I know y'all want to kill these apostles. Just put them in the corner. Let me tell you something. Go ahead.
And said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men.
Read.
For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody.
So Thaddeus boasted himself to be somebody. Go ahead.
To whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain.
They died. Go ahead.
And all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught.
And his movement was brought to nothing. Go ahead.
After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing.
Well, what? Read that again.
After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing.
So this guy rose up during the time of taxing. What a convenient time to raise up. Obviously, he was against the taxing that Rome was doing, collecting of the taxes. Go ahead.
And drew away much people after him.
And we all hate taxes. But some hated taxes so much, they said, you know what? We finna follow this guy. Go ahead.
He also perished.
He perished. He died. Rome put him to death. Rome is not playing with their money. Just like United States of America is not playing with their money. You can play if you want to. You can say you a Moorish, Zionist, whatever you want to be. Black, Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, monk. You can say whatever you want to say, and you still have to pay them taxes. Or they're going to lock you up. Just like ancient Rome did. Because this is Rome. Go ahead.
And all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed.
Read.
And now I say unto you, refrain from these men.
Leave these men alone.
And let them alone.
Fall back.
For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
So Gamaliel was making the point that these other men with these other movements, their movement was of men. That's why it came to nothing. This movement of the apostles, if it's of God, read 39.
But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it. Lest haply ye be found even to fight against God.
So Gamaliel said, hey, listen, if these 12 apostles are of God, you're fighting against God. You're not going to be able to stop the movement they are putting forth. And obviously the movement was of God because it went through all the Roman world. Obviously, likewise in these last days, this movement is of God. The movements in the past with our forefathers, no matter how good they tried to do and strive to do, it failed because it was not of God in totality. I'm talking about the Christianity movement under Dr. Martin Luther King, because he did not have the full truth. Although he did help us, the Lord used him to help us receive benefits, and we're very grateful for that. Nevertheless, the government came down, scattered that. Christianity is not the way. Malcolm X, the Honorable Malcolm X came and brought Islam and black nationalism to us. And although we needed that at that time because he helped a lot of our people have self-esteem, that movement was not of God because Islam is not of God. And that movement fizzled out after he died, after he was put to death. And after in the 90s, Khalid Muhammad rose up, it fizzled out with him. Now you have the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. After he passes away, that movement is finished. Okay, likewise with Chairman Fred Hampton. We're going to touch on his movement. Even though he did a lot of great things, in its totality, it's not, if it's not with the Bible, it's not going to succeed. So that's the point that Gamaliel was making. Now, back to Matthew 17, verse 24. They asked that because you had other leaders, military leaders, religious leaders, what have you. They were against taxing. So they weren't sure if Christ was one of those type of people. Read that again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17, and verse 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute?
So now we get the context, we get the understanding as to why they asked that question. Because they weren't sure. Go ahead.
He saith, yes.
Peter said, we ain't like the other guys. Yeah, we pay taxes. For sure we pay taxes. Go ahead.
And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute of their own children or of strangers.
Hold on, stop right there. How did Christ know that Peter had a conversation with the tax collectors? How did he know that? All it says is Peter walked into the house. Why would Christ pose that question to Peter as soon as he walked into the house? Hey, Peter, let me ask you something. Hey, does the government, do they collect taxes by their own children, or do they collect taxes of strangers? How come Peter wasn't like, what the heck? What the hell? Because Peter already knew that this was the Son of God. Meaning the Son of God already knew what happened before, whether he was there or not. Do y'all get what we reading? So we be skipping over this stuff, man. Christ was a bad brother, man. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Peter saith unto him, of strangers.
Of strangers. Rome collected taxes of strangers. So likewise, you wonder why today there's loopholes for rich white folks, because taxes are not technically for them. They're for us. They're for the blacks and Hispanics and the other major majority of the population. Taxing is for us. Read on.
Jesus saith unto him, then are the children free.
Christ is letting us know in the kingdom of heaven, when we don't pay taxes to nobody, then we're going to be free. So you might have businesses today. You might have your own LLC. You might have whatever you have today. Where we are totally not free as a nation until we stop paying taxes. That's what Christ revealed to us. Go ahead.
Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea and cast an hook and take up the fish that first cometh up.
Go ahead.
And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee.
So how did Christ show love to the 12 apostles? Christ paid their taxes. Christ paid Peter's taxes. That's love right there. Sirach 29, verse 10. That's what John means when he says, don't just love in word, but love in deed.
Right.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29, and verse 10. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend.
Lose thy money for thy brother, meaning, for example, like amongst us, if we have a family that's in need, we put out if it's that dire, we'll put out a request to try to help. We will help that family. If that family is known amongst us and they labor amongst us for years and they give alms and they're a good family, they put in work and they go through financial struggles for the moment, we 100% will help them. That's what it means, thy brother. And it says thy friend, because you might have a personal friend that's going through something. You can help them with gas money. You can help them with bus fare. You can help them with whatever it is that they need. That's your friend, ain't it? If you can't help your friend while they in need, that's you're not no friend. You are a user. You are a what's it called? I just said it. User. You're only around them for benefits. That's why. Go ahead.
Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost.
Right, you got your money just laid up in the stock market, hoping to strike big, and it's steady declining. You steady losing money. You put your money in Bitcoin and all these new cryptocurrencies that no longer exist today. You might as well have helped your brother or your friend with that. Give me Wisdom of Solomon. No, jump to verse 20.
Verse 20.
Jump to verse 20.
Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same.
Now, don't be a fool now. If you only got $20, it don't make sense to give your friend 18 of them dollars just because he need money. Now you got $2 and he got $18. Nah, if he need help, you help him according to what you have. If you can only afford to give $2, hey, that's what it is. You know, and I'm just saying hypothetically, I know you got more than $20. I'm just throwing it out there. You know, so you get the idea of what Sirach is talking about. Don't be a fool. Go ahead. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 22.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 22.
We're going to speed up just a little bit.
Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God.
So King Solomon is talking about the idolaters that live during his time, in the beginning, and also in these last days. I'm going to say it again. King Solomon, being a king, the wisest king on the earth, and also a prophet, is prophesying about the idolaters of his time, the idolaters in the beginning of time, and also the idolaters in these last days. Same attributes. Go ahead.
But whereas they lived in a great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices.
You in verse 22?
That was verse 22, sir.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 22.
Yes, sir.
Let's read that again from the top.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God.
So what does that mean, erred in the knowledge of God? Hold that, Malachi 2 and 7. What does that mean, erred in the knowledge of God? Because you have to apply the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments above your own personal threshold. It don't matter how you feel at the moment. You could be angry. You could be sad. You could be depressed. You could be whatever. You got to apply God's laws 24/7, 7 days a week, every day of the year, every year of your life, until Christ call you back home or until you drop dead, or until Christ crack the sky and deliver us. That's what Solomon means when he says that they erred in the knowledge of God. Let's get the knowledge of God. Malachi 2 and 7.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth.
They should seek the what?
The law at his mouth.
So the knowledge is the laws that's supposed to be on the priest's mouth. Go ahead.
For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
Because he has a job to do. His job is to teach the laws of God. That's what the priests do. He's a messenger. Go ahead. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Read the next verse.
Verse 8. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Lord of hosts.
Right, so the Lord was getting on the priests at that time. But the point is the priests keep the laws on their mouth. The knowledge of God is the laws of God. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 14:23.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God. But whereas they lived in a great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace.
Right, because when you live in ignorance, you're not applying God's laws, and you're erring from the knowledge of God, and you're getting jacked up. It's famines going on, it's war going on, it's tribulation going on, and they try to call that peace. Likewise, in these last days, yeah, I'm talking about war here, war in the Middle East, so-called Middle East. You got war in Ukraine and Russia. You got wars all over the world. Now the president wants to call a peace deal. No. Great war of ignorance. Read on.
Verse 23. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites.
Talking about witchcraft.
They kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled.
So now under idolatry, they kept neither lives nor marriages undefiled. Go ahead.
But either one slew another traitorously.
You see that? One slew another traitorously, meaning they dissimulated and it got so bad, they killed one another. The kids call that a backdoor when you kill your friend and they don't see it coming. They was doing that back then. Snaking each other out, sliming each other out, backdooring each other. You see videos of teenagers walking in threes and two turn on the one and get to shooting at their friend, so-called friend. That happens all the time in these last days. Why? That's a result of idolatry. Go ahead.
But either one slew another traitorously, or grieved him by adultery.
Or grieved him by adultery. You sleeping with your brother's wife. Paul spoke about those things. Paul, Barnabas, and Timothy, and Titus and them, they said that they testified and they forewarned the churches because they seen it happen. They seen brothers commit adultery against their wives, against other brothers' wives, and they seen the Lord judge that situation. You thought David was the only situation that happened? No. It happens all the time. That's a result of erring in the knowledge of God. You're not applying God's laws. Go ahead.
So that there reigned in all men without exception blood,
murder,
manslaughter,
blood, murder, hatred, manslaughter,
theft,
you stealing from one another,
and dissimulation.
And what?
And dissimulation.
Hiding of true feelings, hiding of true intents, hiding the thoughts that runs in your head that's really going on. Go ahead.
Corruption. Unfaithfulness.
Like, for example, you loaning money, but you loaning money with interest. That's corrupt. We're not supposed to do that with one another. Just an example. Corruption. it says unfaithfulness, meaning people leaving this truth. Like in 2018, all type of men left the truth. I know a lot of y'all knew it. Y'all wasn't there. But some of us, a lot of us was, and that was a crazy time. And it's finna happen again. It's finna happen again. Unfaithfulness, unfaithful to God and men. Go ahead.
Tumults,
perjury, meaning uprisings, perjury, lying under oath. Go ahead.
Disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages.
Okay. Drop that. Let's get 2 Maccabees 13:3. 2 Maccabees 13:3. Now, when you read 4 chapters a day, you're supposed to be reading through this history on your own. We just going to skim through it and touch on a certain man, a certain wicked so-called high priest. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 3. Menelaus also joined himself with them.
Now, who is this Menelaus? Menelaus is the man who provoked Onias III's murder. He tried to dissimulate to the Greeks, not to keep the country, because the high priest, he's supposed to keep the welfare of everybody. He didn't want to do that. He told out on the real high priest, who was in retirement at the time, hiding place. Onias III was hiding over there by Damascus, over there by Syria, because there's a lot going on in Jerusalem. They forced him out. He said, all right. He retired after he rebuked, Onias was bad. After he reproved and rebuked them, then he went into hiding. That wasn't good enough for Menelaus. Menelaus provoked the Greek king, provoked the armies to get Onias and to kill him. Okay? Also, when you read about Judas Maccabees going into Jerusalem, Judah Maccabees demoted this wicked dude right here. He couldn't do what he wanted to do when Judah was around. But remember, Judah was off in war, so Judah, when you read this history, it was a lot going on during the time of the Greeks, a whole lot. It's like a war between good and evil. Judah Maccabees and his brothers, and Mattathias, his father, was running around keeping everybody to keep God's laws, and these guys like Menelaus and other wicked men was rising up trying to persuade the Greeks to put them in position. So read that again.
Menelaus also joined himself with them, and with great dissimulation. Go ahead. Encouraged Antiochus, not for the safeguard of the country, but because he thought to have been made governor.
This dude wanted position. Some of our people dissimulate because they want position. They might do it for financial gain. They might do it for a position. They might do it because they want to keep their friends. We just read some of the reasons. Read on.
But the King of Kings moved Antiochus' mind against this wicked wretch. And Lysias informed the king that this man was the cause of all mischief. So that the king commanded to bring him unto Berea and to put him to death.
Put him to what?
To put him to death.
That's what happened to traitors. Death to all traitors. Go ahead.
As the manner is in that place.
What's the manner? Go ahead.
Now, there was in that place a tower of 50 cubits high, full of ashes, and it had a round instrument, which on every side hanged down into the ashes. And whosoever was condemned of sacrilege or had committed any other grievous crime.
Grievous crime against society, against man, all type of grievous crimes. What would happen to him?
There did all men thrust him unto death. Such a
there
death
did all men thrust him unto death. Go ahead.
Such a death it happened that wicked man to die, not having so much as burial in the earth, and that most justly.
And the writer of the 2 Maccabees is saying he died justly. Why is that? It's going to let you know.
For inasmuch as he had committed many sins about the altar.
Because he was the high priest. He didn't do good. He did evil. So he committed many sins around the altar. Go ahead.
Whose fire and ashes were holy.
The altar's fire and ashes is holy.
He received his death in ashes.
He died in ashes. Because when you read the history, they pushed people off the tower and it was hot coals at the bottom. Now we're going to get another forefather, Galatians 2, verse 11. Now this forefather is a righteous man, although he had a moment. I'm going to say it again. Peter, our forefather, the head apostle, was indeed a righteous man, although he had a moment of weakness. And we're going to read about this moment of weakness.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. For before that...
So Peter came to Antioch because at this time period, a lot of Northern Kingdom, and I'm going to show you why it's Northern Kingdom in a second. A lot of Northern Kingdom was starting to repent and coming to the truth. And the main church that this was happening in was Antioch. Antioch, when you read the history, was the second or the third. No, Rome was the first largest city in ancient Rome. Alexandria, Egypt, was the second largest city in ancient Egypt. Antioch was the third largest city. So it was a lot going on in Antioch. So the apostles, they went from Jerusalem to Antioch back and forth during this time period. And during this time period, Paul had to rise up and check Peter. Read that again, verse 11.
Verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed.
Jump up to verse 7.
Verse 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me.
So the gospel of the northern kingdom and the scattered Jews was committed to Paul. Go ahead.
As the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter.
Peter's job was to teach Judah. Paul's job was to teach northern kingdom and the other scattered Judah that wasn't raised in God's laws. Go ahead.
For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship.
So understand, Paul gave Peter his props. So the brothers, man, you can't. We have to learn. We can't just tear our brothers down all the time. Before Paul explained what he explained about Peter, he built them up. He let everybody know that Peter was a bad brother. It says, for he that wrought effectually in Peter, meaning Peter, his spirit was effectual. You could feel the Holy Ghost on him. There's certain men around that when you get around them, you feel the aura. That's what the kids call it, aura. Don't the kids call it that? He had the aura of a prophet when you got around Peter. And the way he taught, he was a natural born leader. Go ahead.
For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of the circumcision.
And Peter woke up a whole lot of Judah when he was teaching. Read.
The same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles.
And Paul is saying, I woke up a whole lot of the Gentiles, the northern kingdom, when I was teaching. Now, jump to verse 11 again.
Verse
Just
11.
for some context.
But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed.
Yeah, he was to be blamed. Why is that? Verse 12.
For before that, certain came from James. He did eat with the Gentiles.
So before they came from James, Peter was sitting down eating with the Gentiles. And these Gentiles, yes, is northern kingdom. I'm going to prove it in a second. Go ahead.
But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
This circumcision is Judah. I'm going to prove that. John 7, verse 14.
The book of John, chapter 7 and verse 14. Now about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Jesus said...
Hold on, let me get it. I like looking at it while you read. Read that again.
The book of John, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Yep.
Now about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled.
The who?
The Jews marveled.
Remember, he went to the temple to teach and taught. And he was teaching the Jews. He was teaching Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the kingdom of Judah. Now, jump to verse 21.
Verse 21.
And why did they marvel? Because Christ was a bad brother. He knew the scriptures. And they was like, how did he know the scriptures? Hey, did he go to your school? Nah, this man that wasn't in my school. Was he in your school with Gamaliel now? Nah, he wasn't in our school. Christ was a regular carpenter, but he knew the Bible front to back, forward and backward, inside and out. And he was just a regular man in the eyesight of men. But he's the Son of God. That's why the Lord taught him. You know? Likewise with Christ's men. We didn't go to theological school and all that. Bishop and them and the men up under him, we didn't go to theological school and all this to learn the Bible. We didn't. The Holy Ghost is on us to teach the Bible. Verse 21.
Verse 21. Jesus answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision.
Moses gave unto who? Remember in verse 14, 15, the Jews in the temple. Moses gave unto you Jews. Now Moses gave everybody circumcision, but everybody didn't keep circumcision. Let me rephrase my words.
Recording stopped.
Go ahead.
Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man.
Read, let's speed up.
If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken, are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day?
Right, so the circumcision was the Jews at this time because the Jews kept the law. Acts 10:45. Now, what was special about the circumcision that Paul is speaking about in Galatians 2? What's special? These Jews believed on Christ. Acts 10:45.
The book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 45. And they of the circumcision which believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because that on the Gentiles also was poured out the gift of the Holy Spirit.
It says they of the circumcision which believed. So these Jews believed. That's why they was with James. James was one of the apostles. James would send out men to the churches to see how the churches were doing. And the men would go back to James, who was in Jerusalem, and bring back word. Because Jerusalem is the headquarters. James was the main apostles in Jerusalem at this time, because Peter, Paul and them was traveling the world teaching. Now, John 7, verse 38.
The book of John chapter 7 and verse 38.
What did they believe? We're going to see what they believed in. John 7:38.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Remember, this is Christ speaking. He said, he that believeth on me, as the Bible, as the scripture has said.
Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Right. So who are these Gentiles? These particular Gentiles in Antioch were Northern Kingdom. This incident happened right around 48 AD after Peter's vision, but before the council in Acts 15. So this situation happened after Acts 10 when Peter was dealing with Cornelius, the Northern Kingdom brother, but right before the council in Acts 15. So that's how we can conclude that that was Northern Kingdom that Peter was acting funny around. Why was he acting funny around Northern Kingdom? Remember the history. Acts 10, verse 28.
The book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 28.
I hope y'all following. If not, write it down and go back over it.
And he said unto them.
Now this is the situation where Peter was talking to Cornelius and Cornelius' family members. Peter's giving them the history. Peter said what?
And he said unto them, ye know how that it is unlawful, that how it is, ye know.
Take your time.
And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company.
Okay.
Or come unto one of another nation.
One of another nation. So Judah didn't mess with Ephraim to the point where we considered them another nation. And Peter's giving them the history like, y'all know us Jews, we don't deal with y'all Northern Kingdom. But, read on.
But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
So if God showed Peter that, why is Peter reverting back to foolishness? That's why Paul had to check him. Galatians 2 and 12.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 12. But before that, certain came from James. He did eat with the Gentiles.
Northern Kingdom.
But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
Fearing Judah. Matthew chapter 4, verse 12 and 15. 12 to 15.
You said Matthew chapter 12, verse 15?
Yeah, Matthew chapter 4, verse 12.
Yes, sir. The book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse 12.
Because there's still some Christian apologists. I know they watch us and they want to argue with us all day. The Gentiles are like Pastor Fred Price was dealing with the captains. How do we know that these Gentiles like Cornelius received salvation are not non-Israelites throughout the world? No, they was Israelites. They just was the Northern Kingdom scattered throughout the world, and they didn't know to keep God's laws. But they're still God's people. They're still Israelites. And we call them Gentiles. Here's the proof.
The book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse 12. Now, when Jesus had heard that John was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capernaum, which is upon the sea coast, in the borders of Zebulun and Naphtali, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying.
Saying what?
The land of Zebulun.
Zebulun is a tribe of Israel. Go ahead.
And the land of Naphtali.
Naphtali is a tribe of Israel. But what did we call that area? Go ahead.
By the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
That's the area that Cornelius came from. We called Zebulun and Naphtali, they land, Gentiles. So we called Galilee of the Gentiles, we was calling them Gentiles. That's the Gentiles that Peter was acting funny towards in Galatians 2. John 11, verse 50.
The book of John, chapter 11 and verse 50.
And then after this, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. Go ahead.
We
almost done.
Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being a high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation, and not for that nation alone, not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
See that? Gather in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. So he wasn't talking about this nation. He wasn't talking about Judah only. He was talking about all the 12 tribes because he was the high priest. And they knew the scriptures. That's what made it so bad, because they killed Christ, but they knew the Bible. They were supposed to be on Christ's side, but they traded against the Lord and killed him. Likewise, in these last days, similar things has happened and will continue to happen, even amongst us. Believe it or not, that's how many of us is going to fall in these last days. Traitors. So let's put that clip up right there, that first clip. It says, how 2 Panthers died in gun battle during police raid. It wasn't a battle. It was not a battle. It was a slaughter. It was a murder. CPD murdered these 2 brothers. So let's jump forward into the 1960s and see what happened. Look at this guy. Go ahead.
FBI agent Roy Mitchell asked me to go down to the local office of the Black Panther Party and try to gain membership. Well, I routinely supplied whatever floor plans or diagrams I could to the FBI. That started in June 1969. I mean, they had a floor plan and keys to the Black Panther headquarters. Later on, within the Black Panther Party, I was traveling around a lot as a bodyguard to Hampton and so forth, and everywhere he went, I went. For about 7 months, I was his personal bodyguard. He wouldn't go anywhere without me. And I know Fred Hampton better than anybody. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I'm sorry that he died like he did. I mean, what am I supposed to do, feel guilty right now about it?
This dude right here, he's a
FBI agent Roy Mitchell.
He a modern day Menelias. And the reason why he traveled with Chairman Fred Hampton is Sr. because he was the captain of security. This wasn't no regular guy in the organization. He was the captain of security. So he traveled with Chairman Fred Hampton for 7 months, like he said. Do y'all know how he died? He died running across 290, which is the highway right where our school is at. They said he stripped, or whatever he did, stripped naked or whatever it was, and ran across the freeway and committed suicide. After that clip aired. After that clip aired to the world, he already knew he was finished, especially here in Chicago. I'm telling you right now. I know y'all got a lot to say about Chicago, but Chicago is very pro-black in heart. And if you turn, and we find out that you turn on one of our own, you're not really gonna have a comfortable place here, for the most part. So once that aired, and I think that aired in the 80s, he knew he was finished. He knew he was done, so he committed suicide. You know, at least that was the official story. So he didn't have a happy ending. Let's get the next clip. Is that where it says the 1969 raid, FBI raid? Okay.
FBI helped assassinate a revolutionary leader while he slept. On December 4th, 1969, at 4:30 a.m., Chicago police stormed Fred Hampton's apartment, firing more than 90 shots. Hampton, just 21 years old, was killed in his bed beside his pregnant fiancée. Fellow Panther Mark Clark was also shot dead. Ballistics proved nearly every bullet came from the police. The Panthers fired just one shot in reflex. An FBI informant, William O'Neill, had given the police a floor plan of the apartment, sealing Hampton's fate. It was part of COINTELPRO, the FBI's secret program to destroy the Black Panther Party. Fred Hampton's dream of unity ended in a political assassination, but his voice still echoes today.
Y'all see that? So it wasn't just Chairman Fred Hampton that died that night. Defense Captain Mark Clark also was put to death that night. All behind the actions of Captain of Security, William O'Neill. He was the Judas Iscariot. Give me that in Acts chapter 20, verse 28 real quick.
The book of Acts chapter 20 and verse 28. Take heed therefore unto yourselves.
So this is what Paul said. Paul said, take heed unto yourselves. A lot of times you think that the destruction is coming from the outside to us. A lot of times it comes from within as well. Go ahead.
And to all the flock, over the which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers.
Just like today we have congregational leaders. We have bishops, we have deacons, we have captains, we have officers, we have soldiers, congregational leaders, sanctuary leaders. Likewise with the Black Panther Party, they had rank and structure. They had defense captains. Mark Clark was made a defense captain. They had captain of security. William O'Neill was made captain of security. They had chairman. Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. was made chairman of Illinois Black Panther Party. So they had positions. They were overseers. So the same thing Paul was talking about during his time, it happened in these last days, and it's going to keep happening until Christ come back. Read that again.
Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves, and to all the flock, over the which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers, to feed the church of God.
Right. Your job as an overseer is to go into the Bible and feed the people the knowledge of God. Show them what to do, what not to do. And right now, tonight, we showing them how not to be a fake, dissimulating demon.
Come on.
Don't turn on your people. Go ahead.
Which he hath purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
They not going to give a damn about the flock. They not sparing the flock. They're going to be teaching all type of stuff. Especially in these last days. They want to get the Israelite leaders out the way. They want to get the bishops and the deacons out the way so they can bring in all type of damnable heresies, like, the Gentiles can be saved. The Gentiles can be talking about. They got a book that the old school elder Abba Bivens wrote, and it's over here in what's that university that's right up the street from us in Evanston. What's it called? I think they say it's a Northwestern University. Abba Bivens and them, they was in New York. They was in New York. Why would it be here in Chicago? Why would Northwestern University in Evanston? Why would a book from an old school elder from New York be way up here in Chicago? That don't make no sense. Read on.
For I know this, that after my departing.
And why would it say that the Gentiles can be saved? We know the Gentiles, we're talking about the other nations. The Gentiles in the Bible is talking about the so-called Hispanics and the Indians of today. The 12 tribes, the 10 tribes of Israel, the 9 tribes. Read about in Ezra. That's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about Chinese and white people in Moab and Girgashites. It ain't talking about them. And ain't no Israelite elder amongst us going to teach that unless he going off, which obviously Abba Bivens did not go off because he taught the 7 elders, or 3 of them. And they taught the bishops that's here today. And the teaching has remained the same. So we know that he didn't teach that. Go ahead.
For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
Read.
Also of your own selves shall men arise.
Also of your own selves. Read.
Shall men arise.
Also of your own selves. Remember, William O'Neill was the captain of security. In 2018, a lot of y'all wasn't in the truth. You had ranked men turn on the elders in front of our face. And these men were very vocal, very visible men. Men who you would thought from the outside looking in, like, damn, you would never expect them to do that. And it's going to happen again. Why? Not because I want it to happen again, because the Bible says it's going to happen again. Go ahead.
Speaking perverse things.
Mm-hmm. Speaking perverse things. In 2018, they were speaking all type of manner of doctrines. William O'Neill, he was speaking all manner of perverse things. Oh, am I supposed to feel guilty? Do I supposed to feel guilty? I just caused the murder of Chairman Fred Hampton and Defense Captain Mark Clark. Do I supposed to feel guilty? Speaking perverse things. Go ahead.
To draw away disciples after them. Therefore watch.
Okay, that's it. So now let's go back. Let's go back to the clips. Now we dropped a documentary on our YouTube channel, IUIC Chicago, where we actually went to Chairman Fred Hampton's childhood home, was right up the street. It's in Maywood. Now Maywood is a small village outside of the city of Chicago, maybe 24, 21 blocks. It's not that big. Like from 1st Street all the way to, I think, to 25th Street, that's Maywood. So let's play a little bit of it. Go ahead.
You have it though. No, I grabbed 3 yogurts though.
The childhood home of Deputy Chairman Fred. Right across the street is Urban Elementary.
That sister right there, her name is Comrade Cool. Comrade Cool was pretty much hosting and showing us around the childhood home of Fred Hampton. Chairman Fred Hampton, excuse me.
School that he attended. He also went to Proviso East High School, which is down the street. We run a number of our community survival programs out of the Hampton House, and we did turn it into a community resource center. I'll bring y'all in to see the Chairman Fred Memorial Museum. All right, so August 30th, 2023, the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, did declare every August 30th and going forward Chairman Fred Hampton Day. Also, August 7th, 2022.
The mayor did honor Chairman Fred Hampton because he's not just Chicago history. He's black history, so-called black American history. Or I say he's just black history, world history at this point. Right. For all the greatness that he did for our people. Let's jump to 8 minutes and 54 seconds. Y'all can watch the full thing on your own, but we're going to just skip around.
So you mean to tell me that Fred Hampton used
go back to like maybe 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Because I want y'all to hear about the Black Panther Party fed about 4,000 to 3,500 children every single morning. In the city, hold on. In the city, let me land my point. In the city, tried to intervene on this black organization feeding their own children. The city started to say, hey, we don't like that. So they try to put roadblocks and try to stop different setup drop-off points where the kids was getting fed. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. The city of Chicago, this wicked city, Chicago, stopped the Black Panther Party under Chairman Fred Hampton for feeding black children all throughout this city. They try to stop free breakfast programs for poor kids who could not eat before school so they can have a decent meal before they sit down and study their lessons. That's how wicked this so-called white man is. That's how wicked the city of Chicago is. And I'm telling you right now, the Lord, he going to bring forth judgment to this place. I'm telling you. So now let's go to 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Look, Chairman Fred spoke one time and he said, all power to white people, all power to, he named everybody, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we all out here, they excuse my language, they got us all up, you know, and it brought the people together and helped them understand that, you know. So eventually, you know, even the Puerto Rican Young Lords was doing free breakfast programs.
They were inspired by it.
Different unpoliticized street tribes, for example.
Y'all heard what she said? She said the Black Panther Party inspired the Ephraimites, the Young Lords, to have a free breakfast program. That's why, hold on, give me that in Zechariah 13. All this is spiritual. We almost done. All this is spiritual.
the book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 7.
Yeah, is that what I want? Thank you.
The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
So the Lord said he going to raise up the tribe of Judah first. The so-called black Americans that everybody despises here in America, that the media only pushes the negativity that the black Americans do here in America to the whole world, and they think that, oh, we just drug dealers and hoes and pimps and all that. No, we more than that. We are the forerunners of this gospel right here. We are the forerunners of Christ's gospel. And even before that, you had black organizations rising up, feeding their people, and our other tribes learned from that, and they followed Judah's example. Likewise, with this teaching, they're going to follow Judah's example. Read on.
That the glory of the house of David,
That the glory of Benjamin and Levi,
and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
that's the other tribes, the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, the so-called Hispanics and the Indians. The young lords made up that. They made up the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Do not what?
Do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Right, because Christ is from Judah. That'll be out of order if the other tribes boast against Judah, and Christ himself is from Judah. But the point I wanted is the Lord said he's going to raise up the tribe of Judah first, not only just first. So in this example, the Black Panther Party rose up, and the young lords took note of that. Go ahead.
The vice lords, the FBI sent a letter to them, told them that they give them 16th Street if the Black Panther Party would not be able to open up a free breakfast. I think it was the Free Medical Center. And Chairman Fred wanted them to a certain point of unity where they were then working the Free Medical Center. It was a lot of different coalition work. So it was free breakfast programs, the Chicago branch.
So as she's saying that, I'm over here pondering. I'm like, wait. Did I just hear what she just said? Read on, because it kind of went fast. That sounded crazy. The city of Chicago stopped the Black Panther Party from having a medical set up for black people and a free breakfast program for black people. And the FBI would give the vice lords 16th Street. And y'all wonder why the vice lords run 16th Street even to this day. Even to this day, they run that. Who gave them that? Who gave these black gangs different streets? How come every other positive organization gets dismantled except for gangs? Very interesting, huh? Gangs and the Christian churches is the only black organizations that's still here. And I know y'all gonna get mad, but it's the truth. This is history right here. Go ahead.
Out here, they excuse my language, they got us all up, and it brought the people together and helped them understand that, So eventually, even the Puerto Rican Young Lords was doing free breakfast programs.
They were inspired by it.
Different unpoliticized street tribes, for example, the vice lords, the FBI sent a letter to them, told them that they give them 16th Street if the Black Panther Party would not be able to open up a free breakfast. I think it was the Free Medical Center. And Chairman Fred wanted them to a certain point of unity where they were then working the Free Medical Center. It was a lot of different coalition work. So it was free breakfast programs. The Chicago branch alone served a minimum of 3,500 children a week free breakfast. And it wasn't just on their own. It was with the support of the people, the support of the community, whether it was churches assisting with allowing them to utilize space, maybe people's homes and stuff like that. So this was donated to the Hampton House. This actually was donated from Ghana, Africa. And if you look closely, it's all made out of cloth.
See that he didn't just inspire our people in the Northern Kingdom. He also inspired our people overseas. So it's likewise with this truth. So this is all a repeat. But this right here is the greatest movement. Go ahead.
So you mean to tell me that Fred Hampton used the vice lords to operate that medical facility on 16th Street?
Chairman Fred wanted them to a certain point of unity where they were then working the Free Medical Center.
Because
so
the city wouldn't allow him to do it, so
they didn't. Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because it messed me up so much. I'm like, hold on. I know I didn't just hear what I thought I heard. What's wrong with having medical facilities for black people? What's wrong with black people taking care of black people? And mark my words, we're gonna get to that level again where we're gonna start taking care of our own. I'm prophesying about it right now. These gunshot victims of our people that get hit and it take 40 minutes for the cops to arrive. I can see IUIC riding up on them and passing them up and getting them the help they need. Just how the Panthers do. I see us doing the same thing. I'm telling you, I see us doing the same thing because this movement right here is going to be hundreds of thousands, millions of us. It's going to be innumerable. Y'all can touch the leadership all you want. God's going to keep raising up new leaders. God's going to keep raising all the young men that's teaching up under the bishops. And what you think God going to do with the young men? Just raise them up as time goes on. This is not a man's movement because the bishops and deacons, they were young men at one point up under elders. You cannot stop this. And like we said in the video, you can watch it on your own. It's our belief that, hold that, give me, he's the God of the living. You think everybody's just random? No. We don't know who's who. Hold that. Give me Matthew 22, verse 32. We said it in the video. It's our belief that many of these freedom fighters that was around in the 60s, the 50s, and before that did not fully know the truth because they died, they was murdered too young, the Lord sent them back because they had to learn Christ.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, and verse 32.
Go ahead.
I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Mm-hmm. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living.
Jump to Luke 20, verse 38. Luke 20, verse 38.
The book of Luke, chapter 20, and verse 38. For he is not a God of the dead, but of the living. Mm-hmm. For all live unto him.
Christ is in control of all the spirits of his people. He can send them back how he wants. You think you killed Mark Clark, snuffed him out with Fred Hampton when he was young. Lord said, I'm going to send him back. You think you killed Chairman, I'm talking about Defense Captain Mark Clark and Chairman Fred Hampton. You think you snuffed him out. Lord said, I could just send him right back. You think you killed Medgar Evers down in Mississippi. Lord said, I'm going to raise up a prophet out of Mississippi. Just powerful. You think you killed Malcolm X. You think you killed these men. That's why Lord just, all he has to do is send up spirits right back and let them learn Christ again and go to war all over again. You know? Hey, it is what it is. Now, back to the video. Go to 13 minutes and 47 seconds if you haven't already. Yeah, we almost done.
Everything that came out of
She did. Okay, so I did mention to y'all that one of our major dates is actually today. So every year on Father's Day, I didn't make the trip this year, but that's okay because I'm there in spirit. Every year on Father's Day, we go down to Haynesville, Louisiana, in which we check on the gravesite of Chairman Fred, and go see about Chairman Fred. The people caravan and convene down there. This image right here is Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. at the gravesite of Chairman Fred, and if y'all look closely at his tombstone, it's riddled with bullet holes. Every year, annually, December the 4th, the pigs shoot up Chairman Fred's grave to this day.
You see that?
He did put a bulletproof case in.
So down south in Haynesville, Louisiana, once a year, which right about this time actually, they go down there and visit the gravesite of Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. That man right there is Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. We was not able to meet him because he was down south visiting the grave of his father. But we was able to speak to his mama. And she was on the phone with us. And she was very grateful that young men took interest in her husband, her fiance, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.'s life and their life. And she was very honored. And we spoke with her. And like I said, he was out of town, so we missed him. Lord's will, we're going to have a sit down with him soon. Lord's will and life lasts. We'll see how things go. See how the Lord move. But the point is, you see how they use one of our forefathers' graves as bullet practice. That's how wicked these Edomites are. White folks I'm talking about. Go ahead.
over it. You can still see the tombstone through it, but we did put a bulletproof casing over it a few years ago. But still, they still shooting.
And that's brave to keep going down there and honoring your father, even though them Edomites mad as hell. Listen, brothers, we can't have no fear in our heart. Whatever happened to us, that's gonna happen to us. But we gotta rise up and do what God say do. Right. Do what we believe. That's what real men do. Real men believe in what they believe in. Go to 11 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna have to cut this short because we're running out of time.
Here is immediately after Chairman Fred and the Fifth Captain Mark Clark was assassinated. As y'all can see, the pigs got smiles on their faces. As they was carrying Chairman Fred out, they was actually celebrating. Chairman Fred is dead. Chairman Fred is dead. This image here.
You see that? They celebrate. They said Chairman Fred Hampton is dead. He's dead. It's our belief he not dead. He back. We don't know where he's at, but he's back. He more than likely back, and he doing the work of the Lord. Guarantee you. Him and Mark Clark, they died doing the work for the people. Mega Evers, all them. Majority of them, they back. Especially because they didn't hear the truth. They back. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care who get mad. 19 minutes and 23 seconds. Jump to 19 minutes and 23 seconds.
Fred Hampton Jr. She almost actually had him inside of the concentration camp. Y'all know what I mean when I say that. Okay.
Talking about prison. Talking about prison. Go ahead.
But Chairman was born approximately 2.5 weeks later.
That's who we spoke to on the phone. We actually spoke to her on the phone. She saluted us. We saluted her. Very nice, sweet lady. Go ahead.
The other survivors, they were actually locked up and held captive on bogus charges. They were charged with attempted murder and a number of other charges in which they was eventually acquitted for. This is her mugshot.
And the charges, that was after the assassination?
Yes, in response to the assassination. And, Mama Comrade, she covered down over Chairman Fred. The movie could only show y'all so much, but she covered down over Chairman Fred. She felt them bullets, them shells going through that mattress, The FBI informant put enough Sicanol in Chairman Fred's Kool-Aid that could technically knock out a horse.
Pause that. Hold on. We not skipping over that. The FBI informant, do y'all know who he is? Who is he? Rita, who was the FBI informant? Rita, Soldier Thazzy, I want you to make sure you pay this. Who was the FBI informant that filled Chairman Fred Hampton's Kool-Aid with the poison to knock him out? Said enough to knock him out. Enough to knock out a horse.
I forgot his name, but it's the brother that ran across 290.
His name is scarcely important. It's only important for identification factors. He's not important. His name is Captain of Security William O'Neill. A man inside the organization did that. Wow. And also, just so y'all know historically, what's that white mayor? Is it not Richard Daley? Is it named Richard Daley? Huh? Okay, Mayor Richard Daley, and if I'm wrong, I hope y'all ain't leave me hanging because they're going to go back and say, oh, that's the wrong mayor. Anyway, he used to work for the mob. And one thing about this city, like most cities, they want to control the power. So Chairman Fred Hampton's movement was getting so powerful, they killed him in 1969. And at the same time, they locked up Jeff Fort. Jeff Fort is the leader of the Black Peace Stone Rangers. They locked him up. And they came down on the vice lords at the same time. So it wasn't just the Black Panther Party. You other Israelite camps, when y'all think they're gonna come for IUIC, they coming for y'all with us. They're not just gonna come down on IUIC and just leave y'all alone. That's not how it worked. Because they didn't just come down on the Black Panther Party and left the other black organizations alone. They locked up the other leaders and killed some of the other leaders as well at the same exact time. And they killed Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in the same. All this was going on and not long after each other. So he's not just gonna stop at IUIC. No, that's not how it worked. So okay, is that it on that? Yeah. So let's get Galatians chapter 2, verse 4, and we're gonna close it out. Now I implore y'all to watch the whole documentary on your own. We can't go over every single detail. As I remember, I'm touching on different topics. Hopefully the men that also was there, maybe they'll speak on it when the time comes, but it was a lot of history, a lot of information that came out, and we are very honored that Comrade Cool took time to go over the history with us. That right there is Defense Captain Mark Clark. He also was put to death with Chairman Fred Hampton. When the police, when CPD says that there was a bullet fired back at them, that bullet was him because he was holding security in the chair downstairs. He was holding security when CPD bust through the door and they started shooting. He got shot and his gun let off. His shotgun had let off. That was the bullet that they said fired back. And it's right up the street. All this happened right up the street from our school. You know? So that was a man, he was from Peoria, Illinois. His family was from down south Arkansas. They moved to Peoria, Illinois. He was doing a lot of work in Peoria, Illinois, which is like 2 hours south of us. And then Chairman Fred Hampton liked him so much that he told him to come up to Chicago to get trained up some more. And that's when he died with Chairman Fred Hampton. So that's another honorable brother right there, the forefather, Mark Clark. Mark Clark. So these two men, we honor them. All praise to Most High. The Most High, believe it or not, Most High did use them on some level. So we will not disrespect our forefathers in here. You know, so you other Israelite cats that y'all want to disrespect the elders and yell out F elder this and F elder, we don't do that. Us young men, we being trained up by our elders to have respect for the men that came before us. Right. You know, that's how we come up. So get the other guy one more time. And while you get that, Soldier Thassi, read Galatians 2, verse 4.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2.
Keep his picture up. Let them see his picture, y'all. Go ahead.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2 and verse 4. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in.
You know why it says unawares? Because nobody knew that he would do this. He was made captain of security. Chairman Fred Hampton, even though he was the chairman of Illinois, remember, it was other leaders. He's not the founder of the Black Panther Party. You had other leaders in California. You had Elridge Cleaver and Bobby Rush, and you had, Huey P. Newton. So you had other leaders in other states in California, and they all got together, and they made this man captain of security. That's why when Paul says, what? Read that again.
And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privily to spy out our liberty.
Because remember, he said he gave the floor plan to the apartment to the FBI. You think the floor plans of our congregations ain't given to the FBI, ain't given to the so-called white man? We know. Ain't nobody stupid in here. We just refuse to be in fear. We're gonna keep doing the work, and whatever happens is gonna happen. Right. And we're gonna keep doing the work. So let's drop that. Get Acts chapter 4 Acts 3:19.
The book of Acts chapter 3 and verse 19.
So I'm gonna end it. We're gonna end it because it's getting late. And also, if you have that spirit of dissimulation, when you mad, you want money, you was sent here for ulterior motives, just repent. You still an Israelite. Just repent before it's too late. Read that.
Repent ye therefore, and be converted.
Be converted. What converts us? Get that in Psalms 19. Let's find out what converts us. What converts that slimy, backstabbing, backdoor, dissimulating, hating, got ulterior motives and don't want to express it type of spirit? What converts that spirit back to that loving, loyal to God, loyal to the mission, loyal to your brothers? And yes, we do disagree amongst each other from time to time, but we love that's our brothers. Sisters disagree from time to time, but that's our sister. You can't give up your brother. You can't give up your sister. You just tell them the truth. Hey, man, sometimes you get on my last nerves, but I love you, though. You know, sometimes it's so bad. I got to get away from you, but I still love you, though. I'm sorry I may not answer the call when you call, but I'm gonna call back when I'm ready to hear you right now. But you know, we not, you know, we like brothers and sisters. how brothers fight. Even the apostles fought. But you don't do no disloyal stuff like what William O'Neill did. Let's find out what converses.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19,
So
and verse 7.
you got to rub me back in, bro. Go, come on. Y'all let me get on a tangent. Come on.
The
Psalms
law,
19.
the law of the Lord is perfect,
God said his laws is perfect. Go ahead.
converting the soul.
And it converts the soul. Turns that slimy brother, that disloyal, backstabbing spirit, backbiting spirit. You want to talk about your brothers when they're not around? It turns that disloyal spirit into that upright integrity man. Integral sister. Integral child. Go ahead.
The testimony of the Lord is sure,
Uh-huh.
making wise the simple.
We a simple damn people. It's a simple damn thing to sell out your own people and think you're going to have a happy life after that. This dude went into hiding from the 60s all the way to the 80s, popped out with that CBS or whatever it was, news article. He popped out, told the story, and ran across 290 and committed suicide by vehicle. Foolish. Go back to Acts 3:19.
The book of Acts, chapter 3, and verse 19. Repent ye therefore, and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out.
Because disloyalty is a sin. Dissimulation is a sin. You're not just sinning against your people, you're sinning against God. Your sins may be blotted out. Go ahead.
When the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord.
You heard that makeshift bomb that IT just dropped. When them real bombs drop in America, you're going to burn them and perish right along with it. Lord, that's not using no disloyal spirits that's in the kingdom of heaven. If you have hatred in your heart, you're not getting the kingdom of heaven. You're going to die right here in America with the white man. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
And he shall send Jesus Christ, which before was preached unto you.
Because this is not the first time Christ was preached on this earth to the blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians. Read on.
Whom the heaven must receive unto the times of restitution of all things.
We're living in the times of restitution of all things right now. Now we're learning what true loyalty is. Now we're learning what true love is. Now we're learning what our true nationality is. Now we're learning how to keep God's laws in the faith of Christ. Husbands are learning how to be husbands. Wives are learning how to be wives. Kids are learning how to be respectful children. Now is the restitution of all things. Christ can't come back because he's sending his spirit on the earth and the teachers on the earth so they could teach the laws so our people can be restored back to our true heritage. That's the only thing the Black Panthers lack, only thing SNCC lack, only thing a lot of our forefathers in the 1960s and 50s lack. They didn't have the restoring of God's laws until the elders in the 60s, 1969 exactly, when they established the Israelite school, Israeli school of universal practical knowledge. I'm talking about the original school. That's not for another topic. Read on.
Which God hath spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began.
Read.
For Moses truly said unto the fathers, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you.
So we're going to end it on that. We just heard the king say, they shall know if you are my disciples, if you love one another as I have loved you. That's what Christ said. Moses prophesied that we must hear Christ in all things. Meaning you have to obey the commandments above your emotional threshold, above how you feeling at the time, above how low or how much money is in your pockets at the time, above whatever your current situation is. You have to apply God's laws through thick and through thin. So I'm Officer Gabriel. I'm signing out. With that, I say shalom.
And I came with my father. He taught the booth like lava. Everybody read your Bibles, everybody better move. Everybody better, yeah. Everybody make a move. Everybody some